Hey, so I had some people ask me if you could run a Wyze Cam off of a solar panel, and I decided to give that a test today. What we've got set up here is a solar panel that I have had for a while. It is the solar panel I carry around in my hurricane bag. So I live near the coast, and when we have a hurricane here, you've got to be pretty prepared for that kind of stuff. And I also work in an emergency operations center, so sometimes I've got to grab a bag and disappear for a while. This is a Nekteck 21 watt solar charger. This thing is it's pretty convenient. It folds up into a nice little, I don't know, larger than letter size, but package. It fits in your pack just fine. I have been working with this panel and both of these cameras. I've got a V3 and I've got a V2 black here. And I can tell you, it's kind of touchy. There are times when I can get both cameras to work at the same time, but most of the time, for reliability's sake, I have to only run one of the cameras at a time. You can see right here, this is the V3, and I've unplugged the V2. You can see the V2 over there is unplugged. The V3, it's loading. There we go. We've got a relatively close to live stream shot here, and you can see me maybe in that picture. I can tell you that it works just fine. The resolution's fine. The latency is fine. The only issue that I can see with this is probably related to my house. I'm in my backyard on the deck behind my house. My house is right there. The modem is right through that wall, but that wall was constructed in the 1980s, back when they used a foil-lined insulation board behind the vinyl siding. I think that foil creates some issues for me with latency. That's one issue I may be having, but I can tell you, with one camera connected, it works pretty darn good. Now let me disconnect the V3, and I'm going to plug in the V2. We're going to have to give the V2 a second to boot up and to connect. All right, so with the V2, I've got it connected now, and I can show you the image here. I don't know if you could see that very well. I have it recording from the Wyze Cam app, and I'll dump some of those recordings over top of the screen here. Latency is about the same as the V3. I can, however, tell you that I have a lot more difficulty getting the V2 to connect, and I can't honestly say if that's because of the interference with the insulation on my house or if the V2 has a higher power draw. I'm going to look up the specs and I'll pop it on the screen here if that's actually the case. But I have, in a couple instances, gotten both of these cameras to work at the same time off of this solar panel, but I have a lot more success only running one. So I don't know if that answers the question from the people who would want to know how many cameras can you run off this thing at the same time. So right now, while we're here, I'm going to plug the V3 back in while the V2 is still connected. We're going to have to give the V3 a moment here to connect itself. You can see here on the screen it says connecting camera, connecting camera, connecting camera. Now, a lot of times to get the V2 cam to connect, I have had to actually force stop the app and reopen the app, and then it will connect. I've had better luck with that. Don't know if that's a side effect of some low power. I'm going to actually close the app here and then reopen it and see if that helps us out any. Yeah, see, I'm getting a connection failed error code. And it won't connect back to the V2 right now either. So anyway, I hope this answered the question from the person who wanted to know if you could run these things off a solar panel. The answer is yes. You can run one of these cameras off of the Nekteck solar panel that I'm going to link down below. You might be able to get by with connecting two if you have a really good connection. Now, the one thing you can do is you can set these up to record and then only use the solar panel to operate them recording and not worry about the connection. So you're going to get a recording on your micro SD card that you plug in the bottom of the camera. May not be what you're looking for, because you're probably looking to actually monitor something live, but if you do need to just record, I think this solar panel would run 2 cameras recording, but it's only going to run one somewhat reliably live. So anyway, drop any questions you got down below, and I'll talk to you again soon.